What's up everyone, I'm Gushy and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over the top battle tips that you have to know as you play through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in Scarlet and Violet, a new battle mechanic called Terrazolization is introduced. What Terrazolization does is that you can change a Pokemon's typing, basically changing what you're super effective or resistant to. And so Terrazolized Pokemon are the ones you absolutely should be going for. So for tip number 1, prioritize finding and catching Terrazolized Pokemon. There are two different ways you can find Terrazolized Pokemon. One is just randomly in the wild. Really have to look out for Pokemon that glow just like this Scyther. Once you enter the battle, you'll see the Pokemon Terrazolize. You'll first have to reduce the Pokemon's HP to the red bar, and then you'll be able to catch it. Now I found that Terrazolized Pokemon in the wild are kind of rare, so the way easier option to find Terrazolized Pokemon are through raids. If you open up the map, you can see these raids indicated by the star as well as the Terrazolized type that you can find. Once you get close, you'll also see a beam of light in the air, so just follow it to the crystal that you'll find on the ground. Now because this is a raid, it's usually recommended that you have more than one trainer to take down this raid Pokemon. Don't worry though, NPCs will join you and help you along with the raid. Alright, so the reason why we want to catch Terrazolized Pokemon is not only for that type switch that you can get, but usually Terrazolized raids offer higher level Pokemon within that area. And as you know with Pokemon games, the level of your Pokemon matters so much. The higher your level, the more damage you do and the less damage you take, making it a lot easier to defeat Pokemon in the wild and gyms as well. So my second tip is to always update your current party to your highest level Pokemon. There are exceptions if you're, kind of attached to Pokemon, but if you do keep Pokemon in your party, it will take a lot more grinding to level them up and keep them at a good level compared to the place you are at the game. And the reason why I say don't get attached to Pokemon is because you can always find the same type of Pokemon at a higher level later on in the game, either in the wild or breeding them, which has its own benefits as well. You can get higher stats to fully maximize a Pokemon's potential. We'll go over that in a future video, but just keep in mind that as you progress through the game, if you want to have a competitive advantage, always equip your highest level Pokemon. Now another really good reason why you want to do raids is that the rewards that you get provide you with feathers. This can slightly boost a specific EV stat for a Pokemon. We'll go over what EVs are in a future video, but just keep in mind if you're trying to max out a stat for a Pokemon, gathering these resources are a pretty easy way to do so. Alright, my next tip is that once you get a high level Pokemon, you always want to reteach the Pokemon new moves. If you go to a Pokemon and click remember moves, this will bring up a list of all the moves a Pokemon can learn up to their current level. Usually Pokemon you get in the wild don't have the most optimal moves that they currently have equipped, so definitely go through the list to make sure that you're using the best ones possible. This perfectly goes into my next step on how to choose the best moves possible. Now instead of just looking at the power number, there's one mechanic that you have to keep in mind, and this is stab moves. Stab stands for same type attack bonus, and basically means that if a move is the same type as your Pokemon, you'll be doing 1.5 times the damage. In this example, my Diglett is a ground type Pokemon, and if we go to its moves, this means that the move Bulldoze will do 1.5 the amount of damage. Now because my Diglett also has a Terra type of rock, when I do Terrazolize Diglett, Bulldoze will lose that 1.5 stab buff, but instead Rock Tomb, which is a rock move, will then get that stab buff. So if you do have a Terrazolized Pokemon, it's important to keep in mind the types of moves, especially if it matches your Terra type. Now on top of that, there's another layer of complexity when choosing moves, using this Palmy as an example. For now we're going to ignore the stab bonus, but if we look at Thundershock and Quick Attack, they both have a power of 40. Again, if we take away the stab bonus, these moves will not do the same amount of damage because to the left, if you look at the category, Thundershock has the special attack category and Quick Attack has a physical attack category. What this means that if we go to our stats, our Palmy's special attack and attack stat also takes into account how much a physical or special attack does. So in this case, because our special attack is higher, then Thundershock will do a little bit more damage. So when choosing moves, just keep in mind, as a rule of thumb, if your special attack is higher, go for more special attack moves, and vice versa, if your attack is higher, try to go for physical moves. Moving on to my next tip, which still pertains to how to choose specific moves, and this tip is to not ignore status moves. Moves that apply sleep are so useful. So things like Yawn, Hypnosis, Sleep Powder are both really good in battle, but also are really useful when trying to catch higher level Pokemon. Here I am with a level 29 Haunter trying to catch this level 21 Dreadnought. Luckily my speed is higher than this Dreadnought. I can fire off that Hypnosis first and get them to sleep. This both prevents the Dreadnought from doing immense damage to me, but also since its HP is decently low, applying a status effect statistically gives a higher chance to catch the Pokemon. Moves that paralyze enemies are also really good. This lowers the enemy speed by 50%. It has a chance to paralyze enemies so they can't attack, but it's only a 25% chance, so don't really rely on it. Alright, moving on to my final and last tip. This is to look at Pokemon's abilities. If we go to the moves and stat page on the bottom right, we'll see its ability. The same type of Pokemon can have different abilities, which can drastically change how good they are in battle. Some notable ones are Levitate on Haunter. This makes it so they don't take damage from ground moves even though they're poison, which will be super effective. And moves like Static on this Pommy. Physical moves that do direct contact might paralyze attackers, and there's something equivalent with poison as well. With that, I hope you guys found these tips helpful. If you did, please drop a like and consider subscribing, as we'll be posting more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos in the future. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope to catch you in the next one, and GG.